What is up, everybody? J Nell here with another From Me to You. And I'm going to piggyback actually off of a video I did a couple of months ago about should we pay college athletes. I did a video around the BCS championship game. Check it out. This is part 2. And we're coming around here because it's March Madness time. Started on Tuesday. BYU's already out of it. U of Utah plays tomorrow. And UCLA won today. Okay. So, of course, just like during the bowl game season, the football championships, they made over $1 billion just in that short period of time. In March alone, during March Madness, colleges will see over $1 billion in ad revenue alone. Okay? Alone. So billions of dollars here. And the projections are going up. Next year, they'll make even more. The year after that, even more. So, of course, everybody wants to know, should we pay college athletes? The last time I pretty much talked about was their time constraints, all of their obligations, and how are they supposed to keep up with the schoolwork. Plus, some of the teachers are being forced to pass failing students, so you're not caring about their education anyway. Let's touch a little bit more on that first. Scandal came out in University of North Carolina where not only, of course, across the country, they're forcing teachers to pass failing students, but I think we all kind of knew that, right? North Carolina, they're putting them into paper classes, which are just that, classes on paper alone. So they would take a student who's failing like the first, low GPA the first half of the semester, put him into like 3 paper classes, okay? So like, more than half the schedule. Give them 2 A's and an A-, suddenly they have a 3.0 and they're able to play ball, okay? So, again, this excuse of their education being its own reward, being the payment, is false. Let's talk about the big schools here. Let's keep it to the big schools, Division I, Division II. The star players, hell, half the players, okay? Your focus is not on educating them. That is a lie. More on these paper classes in North Carolina. Not only are you lying to them, robbing them of their education. They tend to steer the black students into Swahili and African American studies. Now, a language class being a paper class, that's actually not surprising at all. It's a language class. No offense, language people. That's not surprising, although the choice of language is questionable. But I'm sorry, maybe I'm biased because I'm black, but steering black students into a fake African American students class is insulting. It's insulting. That is highly offensive. First off, African American studies it's history. It's American history. Okay, if we're talking about black history, we're talking about American history. Same thing with women's history. It's American history. And there's no American history class that should be paper. Okay? The fact that it's black students being steered, they don't choose these classes. They tell them to go here. They steer them there. These people think that they're going to learn about themselves. So you're robbing them of their education, lying to them to do it, and insulting half of them. Well, this is basketball. 75% of them. Okay? So it's not about the education. Stop it. Like I told Al Sharpton, stop it. Stop lying. The other major excuse is that we don't have the money, us colleges, us businesses, because we're talking about the big schools here, us small businesses, big businesses. We don't have the money. So where is all those billions of dollars going to? Well, just like any other business, they have expense reports. That's just how they gauge on how much money to give the schools, by how much money they spend. And like most businesses, they inflate that report. It's the reason why 10 of the largest football stadiums in the country belong to colleges. Have you seen Alabama's training facility? It's like a professional training facility with jet pools and like aromatherapy and all kind. It's crazy. And they had a nerve to film a video about it, basically bragging. Look how top-notch we are off our free labor. Okay? So that's the money that they spend on buildings, on structures. Let's talk about the money they spend on the coaches. Now, here's where I was a little naive. In my video, I mentioned that Harbaugh signed, I believe, $4 million a year at Michigan. Correct me if I'm wrong, somewhere around that. I was naive. I thought this was one of the exceptions. He's coming from the NFL. He's got a name on him. I'm thinking this doesn't happen very often. It's more common than I realize after a bit of research. There are more coaches making millions of dollars a year than I realized. There are college coaches making way more money than the Professional coaches, no wonder some of them drop down. And you get control? It's easy, but it's about the education though, right? Education. Why should we hold the educators? Because that's what coaches are. They're part of the educational system. This pure system that's supposed to be about teaching these students to grow. It's not about just business and book smarts. You teach them how to deal with life. That's why you want a diverse canvas. That way they can meet people in all walks of life and be prepared for life. Teams, team building, cooperation, problem solving, teamwork. That's what teams do. It's a team. So coaches are part of the educational system, okay? They're not some outside force. They're working within the school. They should be pure too. If it's not about the money for the school, if it's about the education for the students and for the school, then that's what it should be about for the coaches as well. How is anybody working at a college making millions of dollars a year? Signing contracts for $52 million a year, $7 million a year. The Clemens coach is making $3 million a year, then had the nerve to say, oh my word, pay athletes? Oh my word, if we pay athletes, oh, I just don't know. That's it for me. That's too much. Well, because it's not about the money because you're already making $3 million a year. And the athletes know this. They know that they're looking hypocrisy in the face, screaming at them. Because we've seen the videos. Some of these coaches are great mentors. Okay? Some of them are great mentors, and they really feed these kids, and they, feed the soil, tend the roots, grow the trees, all right? But some of them scream at them, say they're gonna effing kill them, hit them, put their hands on them, throw things at them, okay? So it's not as the give and take that you would expect from an educational system, all right? Also, the coaches, on top of getting the millions of dollars from the school, not all of them, but some, we're talking about big schools here, they get money from elsewhere. The coaches, unlike the players, can sell their name and likeness. They can do commercials, they can have apparel, they can have merchandise. They can do radio and have podcasts and be paid for it outside of the school. But we know if a student sells an autograph for $10, he's suspended. If a student accepts a discount on a hotel that he doesn't even know he's getting, suspended. If a good coach goes out of his way, I forget the coach's name, one of his players' parents died. So he took the student to lunch before he put him on a plane to go mourn with his family, and got in trouble for it. Because you can't do something for one student that you don't do for all of them. So you can't even be a human being to your students, to your athletes, but they can make millions of dollars a year from multiple revenue streams? There's their money. You have the money. Okay, I know it's not going to be the same for every school. Again, we're talking about the big schools, and you can't pay all students. Small schools are forced to try to compete with these big schools and spend money so they can get more. The pressure it's putting on the entire system is wrong. So pick one. Because the money is there, and you're not educating them. And you're making the money off of their backs. It's free labor. So you either pay them. Actually, I was going to say either pay them or educate them, but nah. Because the money is there, you're making it off of their backs. And you're a school that claims to be in the business of education. So pay them and educate them. I'm a little close to this. I have brothers who went to school on football scholarship. I have a cousin who got injured and lost a scholarship. I almost finished with... The term student athlete was created by the first director of the NCAA in the 50s. He himself said he created the term student athlete in order to avoid workman's comp. The price of college is going up and up every year. A lot of students are on scholarships now, especially on the teams. So if a student gets injured, loses a scholarship, loses the education, and you have the nerve to not have any sort of programs to help them pay for the thousands of dollars in medical bills that they're now saddled with. Not only did they go to college and not get a leg up in life, they went to college and got set back. You started them in the hole. That is anti-college. Anti-preparation for life. You damaged them before they even got started. So cut the crap. It's not about the education. You are making money. Pay them and educate them. That's my opinion. Please let me know yours. Talk to me. Let me know any stories. If you look at my comment section, I do talk back. So holla at me. Follow me on Twitter at Janelle Owens. Friend me on Facebook, Janelle Owens, and talk to me. Take care and goodbye.